What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Third and Longhorn. We have a huge episode this week. The game, I think, that's been on a lot of our minds, probably since last year.
Yep.
We got the Red River Rivalry this week, and Texas coming in here number 1 again, back where we belong, against number 18 OU. So I wanted to start it off. I think a lot of people would enjoy this. Before we get into kind of previewing the game, I wanted everybody to kind of go through some of their OU memories, or the better of them. We realized when we were putting together the statistics here that the records during these times weren't the best. But let's start with you, Jeremy. What are your memories? Besides, just leave out the one. But
we split it right down the middle. We went 2-2 against him, right? And we won the first 2. So I was like, oh, this is easy. Yeah. and then that last one, well, those last 2, I should say. Fozzy, you was there.
Yeah. I was a part of that.
Yeah, you was too. Oh, yeah. We were all, man, that was not very fun. But no, I think for me, it was, I got 2 memories, 2 of them. The first one was running out of that tunnel for the first time.
Ooh, yeah. I was going to ask about that.
And like the way we were set is that like it was OU on the tunnel side. Yeah. Right?
Always.
Yeah, when we came out, you just hear like these boos and like other type of, I don't know, OU language. Other OU language.
They make up cuss words.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like you just hear what
I like how emphatic you were.
That's boo. It's like, you know, all these other things they were saying. They're not talking real nice to you. And then like as you're running out and you get to like I say about the 35, the boos start to kind of go away and you start to hear these cheers, and then you get midfield and then you cross up and it's your fans erupting, right? And I'm like, that right there, that I think that sums up kind of what that feeling of the Red River Rivalry really is. Yeah. And then one of the best memories that I had was Chris Obanaya. We were running C-Suite, and it hit perfect where we had 2 pullers, you know, 1 wraparound, 1 kick out. The patience that he had to string that thing down, because you want to, as a back, when you see a hole, you want to take it. Yeah. And the patience that Chris had to just keep stretching, and then he hit it downhill. And Chris wasn't the fastest guy, but hitting it perfectly, I'm getting chilled. It just opened, like the hole opened right up, and he goes for like what 40, 50, like 60. Yeah, man, and like that's what won. Like that's sealed. Like we won that game. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm just remembered being in practice, and I remember Major like harping on the patience that you gotta have for this, on the patience that you, and in a moment of need, and all these stars on the field, like Chris Obanaya, like taking good coaching and applying it in a very key situation is what ultimately makes us walk away with that golden hat. Yeah. So like that's one of my favorite memories from that game.
Rod, what about you, man?
Oh man, unfortunately I was 1-3 versus Oklahoma. Not good times. Back when Bob Stoops first came to Texas, and he won the national title in his second year. And that year we got an Old Testament style butt whipping and kind of learned what
Old Testament.
It was Old Testament, man. And we had to learn what it was all about. They won the national title that year, so that was a really good OU team. But my first year, the only win I got against them was '99. We ended up being down double digits in that game. This is the famous dummy script game that Mike Leach, the late great Mike Leach, dropped the dummy script down on the ground during pregame warmups. I believe young Tom Herman and Oscar Giles pick it up, take it up to Carl Boris, and Carl Boris says, "I think we got something here, guys." And we end up down double digits until they found out, oh, this is a fake script. Who the hell dropped this? We learned later Mike Leach in his brilliant mind thought of it.
Man.
And
That's
it
a real story.
That's
a real story.
You hadn't heard that one? Oh, there.
He fell for it. Hook, line,
Don't
and
that
sinker.
feel like a Looney Tunes?
What? Hook, line, and sinker. But we were like, what is happening right now? And then we end up coming back and winning that game. So that was a great memory. And then my favorite memory is, and this is when I learned another hard lesson about the Texas OU game, and I think it applies even today. The momentum shifts and momentum swings and how dramatic they are. Yeah. I took a pick 6 back to the crib, and man, it was one of the greatest moments of my life. I'm thinking to myself, We about to beat Oklahoma. We went up for 14-3, I believe, at that point. I'm thinking to myself, my senior year, we about to beat OU. Rob B about to make this big pick six. When we go to the crib, everybody gonna be celebrating Rob B and this big play. I'm gonna go home and watch it on Sports Center, and we talk about the win we had. Right. I'm thinking all this as I'm running down the sideline, thinking about how great it's gonna be. And I score. It's great. I do my Tebow, thank the Lord, get on the sideline, thinking, God, we about to do it, baby. Let's do it. So DJ, remember all this? Yeah, you do remember that. And then after the PAT, the next play after the PAT, they run the kickoff return back deep into our own territory. I want to say this inside the 10.
All that momentum
all that momentum back. We lost it all. I was like, all the momentum that we had gathered from that great play was gone. And that's this game in a nutshell, man. Yeah. You cannot allow the opponent to monopolize momentum. When they make a play, you better answer. If you don't answer, you're going to end up on the downside of a snowball of momentum. And it happens quick, man. So I think they learned that. And that's why Sark has been coaching this game. It happened to him in 2021. Remember, he had all the momentum at first. Caleb Williams comes in, lose it all. It happens that fast, man.
Dang. Fozzy, what about you, man?
2-2 as well. Similar to Jay, first 2 years we were able to win. I think one of the most memorable experience was in 2008. And to your point, Rob B, was kind of the reverse type of effect. Jordan Shipley is back deep to return a kick. Sam Bradford just led 2 touchdown drives, right? Oklahoma got the ball, they scored. Like, I'm talking 5 plays.
Quick, too. I remember that.
They stop us, and we found a way to get a field goal. And then Sam Bradford get the ball back again, like 6 plays. Like, boom, boom, boom. It took like 26 seconds. Like, dog.
Who was the tight end?
They were so fast.
Was it Gresham?
Gresham.
Oh, yeah.
Jermaine Gresham.
Man, that boy walked out. I was like, oh, we ain't got nothing for that.
We were struggling trying to figure out an identity and how we were going to keep up, because honestly, that's what Oklahoma was. Like, they come out the gates firing on all cylinders. And so we trying to figure out what we going to do. 14-3 down. And Ship say, hey, kick me the rock. Let me show you a little something. And he take it back all the way to the crib. We not even winning, but you would have thought we took the lead on that play. And that was all the confidence that Texas needed in that moment in 2008 to go on and do what they needed to do. 45-35. That was my redshirt freshman year. Was able to get in, have some opportunities myself. So that was amazing in and of itself. So to your point, the game of runs and the momentum, man, that's always the best. And the other memory that I love is being in the tunnel before you run out. Both teams in there. And y'all know how it is.
They don't do that no more.
They don't do it no more.
One team at the back of the tunnel, another team at the front of the tunnel, but you both walk out almost at the exact same time. And they're right across from you. So everybody's jawing back and forth. And the craziest thing whenever we played was some of the chants were the exact same. And so you would hear them saying like 5 hit, booyah, behind you, and you're like, nah, hell no, bro. 5 hit, booyah. Nah, that's us, bro. And we about to be louder than y'all. So you hear them saying some of the same stuff, and the things that were exchanged in them were not pleasant. I will say that, but it got your juices flowing. Like, that was what made it all worth it to be able to play in Dallas in such a historical venue and a site, and then go out there and perform to your best. So it's truly the best game in college football.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that people don't realize with the tunnel too is that, like, you know all of them dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, I was going to mention that.
Everybody. Like, I've been playing some of them since we were in Pop Warner.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same people.
Yeah.
You probably hadn't seen each other as much, because now you know when you go to college, it's a full-time thing.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see each other as much. I specifically remember being in that tunnel, seeing cats that I've been knowing you since we were 10, and like, I mean it in my heart when I would be like, hey, I know you not like that.
That
like, you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, chill. Like, I know your mama. I know you not. Like, you know, like, that game is so personal. Like, that game is so personal.
Well, to your point, my high school quarterback was on
that's
the
right,
other
Proctor.
side.
Yeah.
DJ, what about you, man?
Jay Hills, that's exactly right. When you talk about just a personal game, that's a game that, and we know, you know, everybody knows that Oklahoma are full of Texas guys or whatnot. That game is awesome, man. I get chills every time I talk about that game, every time I see that game, any kind of highlights. I don't care if we won or we didn't win, just the momentum swings in that game. We love it. Love talking about it. I've done a lot of stuff in college. I know I've been blessed. one thing I have not done is beat OU.
Yeah. And,
You know what? That hurts to say.
Mark Higgins sent out a text and was like, "Hey guys, just checking in. You know, send me your records against OU." And everybody sent theirs in, and then we didn't hear back from DJ. And we were like, "Wait, what's going on?" And then he had tried to send something, but it didn't go through. But we were like, "Oh man, this is a sore topic." We look it up. He's like, "Oh,
His phone doesn't allow it.
yeah."
For real. But man, I made a lot of plays during those years. OU, give them their respect during that time. They were kicking butt and taking names. But very close games. A couple things that I remember. My freshman year. Man, I'm playing. This is big time. I don't know nothing about this game. You know, I've watched it or whatnot, but you don't know until you're in it. And when I get out there, I'm starting for the first time. You know, we changed up the defense. It's a 3-4 now. Had 3 seniors, and they put me in.
That's your first game starting?
That was my first game starting.
Wow.
Yeah. So because I played a lot. They switched me in and out and whatnot. But that game, it's like we're gonna make a play. We're gonna make a opportunity for a situation where you can play and be on the field. Had a great game. We knocked Hyper out the game. Guess who comes in the game? Jason White. But that was the whole game. It was 7-3. And then that infamous, what's his name? Roy Williams.
Jumps over
and hits. I mean, and then 14-3. But those games are about moments that create momentum. So if you want to be remembered at Texas, you make a play
in that game.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That's one of those games that if you don't have to do nothing for the whole year. If you make a play that game, true. You're like, people they talk about your name. You're like, hey, he ain't did nothing.
Those are the pictures they hang up in the halls.
For sure. Yeah. But man, those games in the tunnel, like everybody mentioned the tunnel, just coming together, and it is truly. You're in a bad spot in that coming out right there because OU is saying everything. It feels like you're in Oklahoma, in Norman, and then
nobody should be made to feel that way.
it feels that way, and then after you get out there, man, it's bright and sunny, and then you see that orange, and it's ready to go. And one more play, my senior year, we barely lost. I think it was 10-0, 12-0, or whatnot, but. I was going against Adrian Peterson. Did a little move on him, boom. Jason White runs out the back. I go and secure the tackle and knock the ball out. Crowd goes wild. Philip Giger picks up the ball. I mean, we gone. I had an interception that game too. So everybody, I mean, to have a play when you make a play in that game, I mean the feeling of the crowd, the energy, the momentum, your teammates. That's something that y'all will remember for the rest of your life. So, man, those good moments. Good moments.
Every single play, the crowd is cheering.
Yeah,
it's just is it coming from this side?
That is true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, how about you, man?
Yeah. Well, I was 1-3, but. Listening to DJ, he played in the early 2000s. He's talking about a score of 10-0. So 10-0, 12-0.
You say DJ been in the
SEC. but no, I went 1-3, and I got 2 specific memories. So I had the highest of highs my freshman year, and then the lowest of lows my senior year. So freshman year, we played Sam Bradford. He's Heisman front runner. We all week we talked about, and Fozzy and Jay Hill was on this team, but all week we talked about physicality. We got to be physical with him. What is it? First or second drive of the game, AJ Williams comes off the edge and nickel blitz. Puts Sam Bradford down, puts him in the dirt. Yeah. Okay, we got the momentum. It's still a dogfight. Don't get it twisted because it's Texas and OU, but we end up getting that one out. And freshman year, as a freshman, like Jay Hill said, that was the year we went to the Natty. In my freshman year, I'm like, we cruising. We're going to do this every single year. Like, this is the expectation. Yeah, it's the standard. It's the standard. I'm over here posing with the hat. It barely fit on me. Like, it's just propped on the head like that. But so that was the highest of highs memory. And then senior year, man, that loss was so demoralizing. They had Blake Bell. They had a nickname for him, the Belldozer. We knew exactly what they was going to run on the goal line. And I'm telling you, we trying all different types of fronts. We got bear fronts. We got 6-man fronts up there. 3-man fronts with 2 backers. And nothing stopped that that damn play. I mean, like,
I remember he would come in and you just see everybody at OU doing it.
It was so bad that I don't even think he faked the read. I think he just caught it and ran with it. Yeah. So Texas, it'll give you the best memories, but it'll also humble you and bring out the worst, man. It does, and that sticks with you a little bit. The difference in these games to me is attitude. Like whoever comes out with more attitude usually gets the edge in this game. So that's what I'll be looking for.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're gonna go to our first commercial break, but when we come back, we'll be previewing the offense, defense, and the special teams heading into the Texas OU game. Welcome back to Third and Longhorn. We are previewing the Texas-Oklahoma matchup. I'm joined by my left, Jeremy Hills, Rod Babers, and to my right, Fozzy Whittaker, Derrick Johnson, and Alex Okafor. And I'm sure those of you have noticed, we finally have here. Somebody turn around and model the back of it so somebody can see it. Go
ahead, Lex.
There we go.
Listen up, Austin, Texas. Listen up.
Hey, looks good.
And was trying to just show them expensive shorts.
Show them guns on too, man.
And we'll have these up for the rest of this week. That's your last chance. We'll probably cut it at the OU game. Will be the last time you can buy these. So get them. They'll be limited edition. And you can find that info on the website. But let's get down to business, guys. This obviously we talked about it. Texas number 1, Oklahoma's number 18. It was a crazy week of college football, and I think it was a good lesson for I'm so happy we were off this week to be able to watch everything that happened in college football, because I think we realized that there is no such thing as an easy game in the SEC. There are no sure wins, and I think a lot of people are pretty overly confident for this Texas OU game, and I know most of y'all are not, because you know what this game is. But Texas is obviously a 14.5-point favorite. Although when you look at it, the last 6 meetings, OU's 5-1. So this thing has been a little lopsided. 9 out of the last 10 have been decided by 1 score, which is insane. So I think going into this, did you guys have moments like that where there was this sobering, oh crud, there's a lot of talent out there. If we don't bring it, we're gonna be in trouble. Like how do you guys think Sark talked to the guys this week about that and use that as fuel?
It's not about them. That's the thing. And Sark has preached that since he's come into the building. Is everything is predicated off of what we do. And he's speaking to his team like, hey, if we handle our business and we play the level of football and the brand of football that I know Texas knows how to play, then everything else will take care of itself. And in my opinion, I think this Texas team is obviously more talented. They're a better team. They have better options across the board. And if they do what Coach Sark is talking about with the level of preparation, with the intent, the focus, the attitude that AO mentioned, then they are their only worst enemies to stop them from doing what they want to accomplish in this game.
That's exactly right. Sark has always been consistent at building this culture, and the standard is the standard. And he preaches we are not entitled. You know, we had getting all this success and all this media and all this pub. We're not entitled, and if you can consistently get that through these young guys' heads, we'll come through Red River Rivalry on top, putting the hat on.
Yeah, and I call this, when I looked at the stats, I call this game something's got to give. In a sense, when you look at it, Texas is averaging 45 points a game. OU's allowing 16 points a game. A little difference there. Texas passing for 322 yards a game. Oklahoma's allowing 218. Texas is rushing for 191 yards a game. Oklahoma's allowing 105. And I think I want to break it down in the offense, but I'm going to kick it to you, Rob. What do you expect to see out of the offense this game?
For Texas, I expect them to stay on schedule. One thing you don't want to do against Oklahoma is get behind the chains. The Oklahoma defense feeds on havoc plays and splash plays. They're not necessarily a fundamentally sound defense, but they're top 5 in takeaways. Actually, they're 3rd in the country in takeaways. They're top 10 in sacks. They're top 15 in tackles for loss. Havoc plays. That's what they get. So if Texas can protect against those havoc plays, guard against the negative plays on offense, and protect the football and protect Quinn, then Texas will slowly but surely they will separate from Oklahoma, because Oklahoma's defense feeds off of those plays. Last year, think about the defense. What happened? Right, you got takeaways in the red zone, get interception early, they force fumbles, havoc plays. That's what Oklahoma feeds on. So if Texas can just go in there and be efficient, and they don't have a lot of those negative plays and takeaways, and they can protect Quinn, and Quinn usually does a good job protecting himself because he gets rid of the footballs so quickly. Yeah. He's on time. Yeah. He's a rhythm passer, and usually his time to throw is close to 2.1, 2.2 seconds. If he's in the zone like that, getting rid of football, Oklahoma won't touch him. The question is that defense, because they got some dogs, man, on defense.
Oh, yeah.
They got one of they trust me, in the back seven, it's one of the most opportunistic defenses in the country.
Yes.
That matchup, when they try to confuse Quinn, when they're doing some pre-snap disguise things, when they're getting exotic with their looks, can Quinn diagnose it, process it, and execute? If he does that, Texas is going to beat Oklahoma pretty bad.
We'll see though. That remains to be seen. I'm gonna be real. I've watched OU. I want to say 4 of their games this year. And I haven't been like terribly impressed with the offense, to be real.
Exactly.
But that defense has had them in every single game they play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Auburn. That's why they won that.
I mean, obviously, there's probably not like the meter to judge on, but go look at the U of H game. Go look at how the defense was flying around. You look at Tennessee. Tennessee couldn't pull it away the way that you would anticipate as long as that defense was on the field that whole game, and they still played. They got a kid back there that's an eraser. They got a kid back there that it sounds crazy. This kid, I forget this kid's name.
Bowman?
Billy Bowman.
Bowman is Stutzman on the guys.
Listen, that kid reminds me of Earl Thomas.
Oh yeah,
I'm being dead serious.
Yeah, and the part that hurts me the most was he's committed to Texas.
I know he was
really.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Didn't know that.
He just hurt
Jay
Hills even more.
Him and Jatavian Sanders were teammates at Denton Ryan, and both were committed.
Bro, this
to
kid,
Texas.
watching his game, watching how instinctful it is, watching how fast he is to contact, watching how he can get to the deep third and support the run, like just. Watching this kid, I'm like,
NFL guy.
My goodness, this kid is gonna play in the league for a long time.
He
could have been.
This kid is gonna play in the league for a long time.
And to their credit, the defense has been on the field almost all year.
That's my point.
Like
this kid, these guys
have
been. But the truth is, somebody got to take somebody where they don't want to go. You know what I mean? OU, we're going to make you have to score points to beat us. Or Texas, we're going to take y'all to a low-scoring dogfight. Somebody got to take somebody where they don't want to go. And I think that ultimately it's going to be a higher-scoring Texas win, or we're going to be in a dogfight and have to pull it out. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, that's how I view this thing. It's like, somebody got to take somebody where they don't want to
go. And I like what Rod said about, Quinn getting the ball out quickly, because this team likes to tee off. They have a ton of sacks this year. But if you watch the Houston game, Donovan Smith did a fantastic job of getting rid of the ball quickly. And they kind of they would go straight down. Houston was going straight down the field on him by getting that ball out quickly and not letting Smith get hit. But let's kick it up. Fozzy, I want to kick it to you on. Let's talk about the running game, right? Like I did see the Sark press conference, and someone asked, is Jaden Blue going to be starting? And Sark kind of just said, look, everybody's had a good week of practice kind of thing, you know? But what are your thoughts going into that? Who do you think, first off, who do we see starting the game on the field? Yeah. And then what do you expect to see from the running backs this game?
It's Blue's game. Like, this is the opportunity that Sark has been looking for the prominent premier running back to take control and have that opportunity. You're playing against one of the best run defenses that they've seen. Michigan is the other team that has a very stout defense, but who came alive whenever they played against Michigan?
Jaden.
It was Jaden Blue.
Yep.
So I expect to have that type of response. Not only does Jaden Blue probably feel a little embarrassed with what he put on showcase and display the last time he stepped out on the field, but he's still hungry to make that explosive play. We talked about it last week. There hasn't been those running back chunk splash plays in the run game that were 40, 50, 60 yards plus. And if you want to be remembered, Jay Hills gave you the criteria. It's Chris Obanaya, C-suite, patience, take it 60 yards, bring it down to the 1 yard line. Jay Hills, Jay Charles.
Yeah.
Jay Hills played like 66. Jay Charles.
It was 3-0.
Jay Charles, his freshman year, right? Yep. He got in, had an opportunity to make a big splash play, break some tackles, and then off to the crib.
For 80, right?
Yeah.
No, he went crazy.
It was like,
I remember that.
Right after kickoff, like boom, boom, boom. There he go. Freshman year, true freshman. So this is the type of atmosphere and the type of opportunity that Jaden Blue has shown he can thrive in. And you coming off of a week where he didn't play, or at least the last time that he was on the football field, he didn't play to the level or the standard that he knows he can play at, and everybody else knows he can play at. he's going to be a different dude, and I think that's why he gets the start. But having Trey Wisner healthy, having Jared Gibson also ready to rock and roll, those three, it's going to take a rotation because it's going to be a long game.
Yeah.
Our Mason Thomas up front is an absolute beast.
Monster.
Sack leader, Danny Stutzman, one of the best in the country. Not just in the conference, in the country.
Yeah, he's legit.
And he plays that way every single time he touches the field, and he probably performs his best every time in this game against Texas. So being able to go against those two guys, especially in the run game, I think Jaden Blue and the rest of this Texas offense, they do have their work cut out for them, but I think that's what they thrive on in these types of opportunities.
I'm glad we get a chance to cut our teeth a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Like, up to this point, there's always been a but around Texas. Whenever you're talking to somebody that's not bleeding burnt orange. Yeah, y'all beat Michigan, but come on, that ain't Michigan from last year.
Yeah.
Like, nah, y'all beat Mississippi State. That might be one of the worst teams in the SEC. Come on. Like, nah, y'all putting up a lot of points, but who y'all playing? Come on. Like, that's been
Y'all
the
number
talk.
one, but
No
y'all
matter.
ain't play last week.
Yeah.
Say it again?
Y'all number one, but y'all ain't play last week during the
It's
mass
always been
exodus.
but I think Texas is ready to like put it on display with the world watching. We know everybody watching this one.
Yeah.
We know that y'all will respect this one. Well,
2:30.
let's go see about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think you're right when it comes to the Texas offense. They've been challenged. The Michigan defense is legit. They got NFL players all over.
Yeah.
This defense, it's going to be a challenge. They got NFL players everywhere.
Yes. Fair.
Brent Venables is a really good defensive mind. Someone's weak, Martindale.
Yep.
I'm still not sure if the defense has been tested to that extent yet. And I don't know if Oklahoma's going to do it. I hate to be arrogant.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's offense
I don't
is
like their
vertically
offense.
challenged.
Yeah.
They really don't throw the football
Well,
downfield a lot.
but it comes from the. Are we on the offense?
We are
right
not
now?
on third down.
Stay on
I ain't saying, I'm just saying.
Let's stay on this.
But to stay on our offense right
Yes.
now, we need to make sure Quinn does not get touched. Like our linemen, our offensive linemen, we need to make a patent. He does not get touched. You know what I mean? For him to come back fully charged up, ready to go, get his confidence back, get some timing throws, get the ball out, run the ball, do some boots, get some misdirection stuff. Just to have him comfortable back there, he does not need to be touched. So
So how long can we keep him clean without being touched? That's the question, right? In that game, so he gets
And I think
confidence.
that's the key matchup on the offensive side is our offensive line against their defensive line. I
if
really
you're
do think
OU,
that's
OU, this is their game plan. Hey, we got to touch
Hit him.
Quinn. We got to.
When
He
he's got
has not
oblique,
been touched.
let's try to hit him right there in those obliques.
you know they
Right
know
there.
exactly where that is.
Right there. Okay, yeah, we know where to go. We know where to hit him.
Effective.
Yeah.
But I want to turn it over to you. Like, what are you expecting to see from this offense versus the Oklahoma defense?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how we're going to get Quinn going early. Kind of like DJ saying, like, Quinn's been off a couple of weeks, and that makes me a little bit nervous. I know people love throwing out 2022 when he missed a couple weeks, came back, and we blew OU out, and that's great. But I look at last year when we started slow and the early interception cost us the game, basically. So him missing a couple weeks, and I think he's going to put up great numbers. I think he's going to play well, but we got to get him going early and get it going fast at the beginning. Going to Blue, kind of what Fozzy was saying, I have no doubts in my mind about Blue this game. Like, if I was a gambling man, I'm putting my money on the over on Blue. I'm putting the over on Blue.
Whatever the yardage is,
whatever the yardage,
Take his rushing total over.
yeah, I'm taking the over just because as ball players, like, we can go out there and not get it done sometimes, but when it's stuff that we can control, fumbles, missed assignments, effort,
that's good.
that creates shame, and he's had to marinate in that shame for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, he has to
so
wear it.
everything tells me he's gonna have a bounce back game, and he's gonna ball, and he's gonna make a name for himself. He's already made a name for himself, but he's gonna take it to that next level, kind of like we described. So I'm interested in seeing that.
So, well said. I like that.
Yeah, and I think an interesting thing, and I was trying to find it. So far this year, we have 32 penalties for 249 yards. That's 49 yards a game in penalties. It's not insignificant. And we've been intercepted 4 times. We fumbled 5 times and lost 3 of them. So that to me is the other like really key stat for the offense is eliminating penalties and minimizing turnovers. Because like you said, it flipped the whole game. And this, what you guys all talked about, that momentum, and the nothing switches the momentum faster than a turnover.
Every drive ends in a kick.
Yeah.
Easy. Extra point, field goal to punt.
There you go.
Every drive ends in a kick. I don't think they have the offense that can drive the length of the field for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
So
They
something will give. It just can't be us giving them points.
Yeah.
It
No,
just can't be
You know
us.
what I
I
mean?
like
Like
that.
that's the truth. Something gonna give. Don't worry about it. We ain't get it. Cool. Punt it. I dare you. Y'all gonna go 90. Cool. Show me.
Yep. Maybe the most
like-
elite aspect of
good.
their recipe to win. They are 3rd overall in the country in turnover margin. That's what they do really well.
And that's how they beat Auburn.
That's how they win.
100%.
That's how they beat Auburn.
That's how they sealed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like our offense, and I think I'm right on with y'all when y'all say that like Quinn has to start early. In a perfect world, I want to get our defense on the field first, create a shorter field for them, and then at the end of that drive, there are points, right? Like there's just points on the board, and let them get into it. Let them get into it a little bit.
All right, well, that wraps up our offensive preview. When we come back, we will have the defense and special teams preview heading into the Texas OU matchup. We are back on Third and Longhorn. I'm still joined by Jeremy Hills, Rob Babers, Fozzy Whittaker.
We still here, baby.
Derrick Johnson, Alex Okafor. I like to let the listeners at home, you never know when they're going to come in. So, like, I want to, especially now that we're on Sirius, shout out.
Say that again.
So we're on
Subtle
Sirius
flex.
XM.
Subtle flex.
Yeah.
Love that.
I like to let everyone know who's here. I'm Nick Shuley. No one cares.
Fifth Ward Nick.
I want to go over to the defensive side of the ball now and start talking about that. This is an interesting matchup. Oklahoma is averaging 28 points a game. Texas is allowing, this is fun to say, 7 points per game. Wow. That's insane.
Wow.
Oklahoma's averaging 169 yards passing a game. I feel like Texas does that generally in a quarter. And Texas is allowing 121 yards per game passing. Oklahoma's averaging 128 rushing yards a game, and we're allowing 106. So, DJ, I want to kick it over to you, man. What are you expecting to see out of our defense this game?
Oh man, it's going to be huge and important for our defense, for our rush lanes. When you talk about this young freshman quarterback, Michael Hawkins Jr. Michael Hawkins, he's a shorter guy, and he's very athletic. When he drops back, he can't see a lot, so he is trying to move around quickly and get an explosive play, draw something up in the dirt, be a scrappy player. If they're going to have any success, it's not going to be from running inside zone and outside zone or timing routes and vertically going down the field. It's going to be him running around, throwing this way, throwing across his body, just making some things happen. And that can happen, but there's pros and cons to that. It can get bad when that happens. But I think this is going to be our biggest sack game. I think this is we're going to because he's going to run around. He has to. When you got Vernon and you got AC pushing up the middle, and you got Colin coming off the edge, the way he speaks. Yeah, I mean, Moore's going to have a breakout. I'm telling you, watch. Moore's going to have a breakout game.
Calling your shot?
I'm telling you, he's going to have a breakout game. Just this offense isn't potent enough. Isn't potent enough to just methodically move down the field. This quarterback is going to have a game of his life. And not saying that cannot happen, but it's going to have to come from this young, true freshman drawing up some stuff in the dirt and being scrappy. But man, I just can't see it right now. I think we're going to have a great day. Yeah,
Prove it. You ain't did it all year. Prove you're going to do it today.
Yeah.
And when he talks about the quarterback having to have the game of his life, if he does have the game of his life, it's going to be because of us. Missed tackles in the backfield, rush lane integrity.
That
we'll be
you.
giving him opportunities if he does have the game of his life. And DJ makes a great point. Like with the recent success that we've had rushing the passer, like guys trying to run it up now. Guys might start trying to reach for sacks, being out of position. We got to still play the right way. And this offense, the only way I can see this offense being effective is what DJ said, man. Like, creating plays, missed tackles, guys out of position. Yeah. He's getting yards with his legs or extending the play 5 seconds and finding somebody
That's
open.
the only way they did it. Gabriel last year.
Bad eyes. Scramble drills. What I'm thinking.
Right.
Talking scramble drill.
And Gabriel
coming out of coverage and he throw it to somebody.
And Dylan Gabriel laid the blueprint last year, so you know they're going to try to replicate that same game plan. So
let me ask you, how do you prevent that? You know that's the way, right? How do you prepare
Yeah, he know it the best right here.
Yeah, I mean, I went over it a little bit. You got to be strategic. And when I say strategic, with a young quarterback like that, especially a scrambler, somebody looking to get out the pocket, okay, we're gonna let you get out the pocket. Yeah. We're gonna force you to the left. We're gonna force you to the left and make you throw across your body. Like we want to make you think you got opportunity, but really we setting you up. So it's just we gotta be strategic with our rushes like that.
I like that.
Yeah. Rod, I want to kick it over to you from the defensive backfield. Right, look, they're still dinged up at receiver. I think Deion Burks will be back.
He's a dude.
And Brendan Thompson can get behind defenses. But the funny thing is both those receivers were either Texas was on him or was close to or had him. Brendan being at Texas. Yeah. But talk about what you expect to see out of that passing game and out of our defensive backs.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I was looking at 20-plus yard pass plays before we got on air here, and it sounds like it seems that Oklahoma has only 8. They got 8 20-plus yard pass plays all season long. But strangely enough, Michael Hawkins, he accounts for 4 of them in the last 6 quarters. So to you guys' point, he's a young, dynamic playmaker.
Yeah, he can play.
He can play a little bit, and he's got a bye week now to get them, to get a little bit more acclimated with the system, get comfortable. I wouldn't doubt they take some shots against Texas. One of the only ways I think they can move the football, guys, they're 130th in the country in third down conversion rates.
Wow. Oh, it's
insane. It's terrible. And even this young man, he's been bad. I think he's like 4 of 19 since he's played. So they're not going to be able to move the football by churning out yards and converting. I don't think that's the way. I think they're going to try to take some shots down the field. I think they're going to take some of that Mississippi State game plan, right, and just try to pound Texas into submission and sprinkle in some quarterback run game like you guys mentioned. I think they're also going to take some shots. We saw Mississippi State get behind Texas a couple times. We don't want to talk about it. They got behind them.
And they dropped everyone. Thank goodness.
I think they caught one of them. I think Oklahoma, especially if Deion Burks is back, they're going to try to take a couple of shots, take a slip. I'm worried about the eyes of the Texas DBs being disciplined with the scramble drill and with also a lot of quarterback run game, misdirection in the backfield. I think that's going to be a challenge. But the truth is, guys, this offense, and DJ said, it's not potent enough to be able to get down the field on their own. They're going to need a chunk yardage play, like I'm talking about, just chunk yards downfield with the deep ball, or they're going to need Texas to be their own worst enemy with self-inflicted wounds. That's the only way, in my opinion, this group can move the football down the field against that Texas defense, which is right now playing like a top 10 team.
And they're 18 of 68 on third down.
They're terrible.
26%. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, this is truly where the game is won and lost. I know we talked about the good on good, which is Texas offense versus an elite Oklahoma defense. Both of those are playing at elite levels. But where it's truly going to be won and lost is on this side, Texas's defense versus Oklahoma's offense. And honestly, they're going to trade blows as far as Texas offense, Oklahoma defense. But Texas has to take advantage of the discrepancy that we just laid out, right? The stats are what they are. You are what you have put on film. Yep. And Texas has showcased that they can get the job done. Yeah. Albeit it's not perfect. Nobody plays a perfect game. And the stats have shown Oklahoma struggles getting the job done. So Texas has to make sure that they continue down the same path that they have shown and really make it to where even though Oklahoma's defense is elite, it's irrelevant because your offense is that inapt to be able to compete with Texas's defense.
And by the way, I would be so pissed just looking at all the stats and watching the games this season. If I was Texas's defense, I would be pissed because all people talk about is how elite OU's defense is and OU's unstoppable and blah, blah, blah. And
that goes through their head too.
Meanwhile, nobody's talking about the Texas defense. All people talk about is Sark and our offense and these pieces.
And to your point, you mentioned even for the game plan of Texas's offense, what they can't do, right? You can't give up pressure. You can't allow Quinn to get hit. You can't turn the ball over. Well, Texas is just as potent at taking the ball away as Oklahoma's defense is. They are really good at doing that. This is one of the best takeaway teams that we've seen through 5 games throughout the history of Texas football. So being able to have that to rely on, Quinn may make a mistake, but guess what? Your defense got your back too. Your defense can get the ball right back to you. So that's something that you can also hang your hat on because they've played very well from a complimentary perspective to be able to say, okay, Blue, you fumbled. Yeah, it hurts us, but at the end of the day, defense still going to show up. Like they still going to find a way on a sudden change to make a play for you to get the ball back. And so that's something you can continue to rely and depend on moving forward.
So, Hills, I wanted to ask you this. Like we've witnessed, and everyone out there in college football is saying the way to beat Texas is the blueprint's there, right? Like you run the ball, you hold the ball, you keep the ball out of our offense's hands. And I think we saw it. We obviously, Michigan tried it, but we got out fast enough. Mississippi State tried it. We did not get out fast enough and get out of the lead. What do you expect to see a similar type game plan here?
If OU wants a shot, you don't have the firepower to go blow for blow. Yeah. I got to win by limiting your opportunities and capitalizing on your mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, I got to win because I play that clean. I play that clean, and I make this a short game. Like, that's how I got to win it. You know, like, listen, OU against everybody's better, thought process. They got some pretty smart people over there. Yeah. And I know they know that they have to keep the ball away. It's keep away. It's simply keep away. Yeah. All right. So we understand that. You want to make somebody get out of that game plan? Make them have to keep up. I don't got. The truth is we don't have to do anything special here.
That's true.
There is nothing that we need more of. We need less of some things. We need less mistakes. I need less mental assignment errors. I need less turnovers on our end that are avoidable. I just need you to do less. I don't need you to do more.
That's a good point.
That's the truth. Like Foz said, I think one of the most pure things about this sport is you are who the film says you are. Not who you want to be, not who you have potential to be, not what I see you do in practice. When I cut on the tape, that is who you are. Right now, we have proven to be one of the most talented, sloppy teams. And if we can just get rid of that second part, this can get ugly. This can get as ugly as we want it to be. How long do we want OU to stay around? Is what the name of this game is. Yeah. Like, I think you're going to see, unfortunately, I think what you'll see is some drives where you like, whoo, and you are just loving what you see. And then I wish there was 4 quarters of that. But unfortunately, my heart tells me that I'll see some drives. I'm like, come on, y'all. Come on now.
We better
come on now. That's what we're doing. You know what I mean? And I think if we can limit one and play heavy into the other, this can get ugly. Listen, Vegas know what they're doing. It's the reason why this game is a 2-touchdown spread. Vegas know what they're doing. Vegas know that the guys in whatever kind of red that is cannot hang with the guys in burnt orange. Yeah. And if we want to make this exciting, then it needs to be a 2-touchdown spread. Yeah. They spotted them 14.
Well, before we get into game predictions, Oak, you're gonna get the first one, and I'm not kicking it to you yet because we do have the most important part of the show, the special teams breakdown. So I'll let you think. You guys start thinking about this, and I don't know if anyone's noticed, but no matter what, I always make Bert Auburn win the kicker matchup, and so we'll continue with that this week.
Got to.
OU has Tyler Keltner, who's surprisingly impressive. I don't know why surprising. I just felt like saying it. Tyler is 12 of 13 on extra points. He's 6 of 7 on field goals with a long of 50, so pretty strong. They also have Zach Schmidt, kicked a couple and made 1 for 1 for 39 yards. But Tyler's only scored 30 points this year. Bert's at 37, although Bert is 31 of 31 on extra points and is 2 for 3 on field goals with a long of 45. So, I mean, I am perfectly fine with Bert continuing this constant extra point streak, etc. So, of course, the edge goes to Bert, as it always does. But let's get into our predictions for the game. Oak, what do you have?
Let's see. Let's go. Texas gonna put up points. Yep. Even though we know what Oklahoma's defense is, we still gonna put up points. That's a given. I'm gonna say, let me go 35 to. I don't think this has to be close. I'm gonna go 35 to 13.
No Bert Auburn kick.
I always had him in mind, but you go
every time.
Oh man, Texas is going to score. The 35, Texas 35, OU 20.
35-20.
Yep, 35-20.
I'm just, you know me, I'm scarred. I hold on to them. This game is different than all others. And I was earlier on the OU breakdown with Gabe Eicher and Teddy Lehman, who are Oklahoma greats. I got to talk to them. And
they do a great job.
I really said this to them. I said, Vegas don't know what they talking about because this game always comes down to the wire. And the stat that you talked about, 9 out of the last 10 have been a one-possession game. So with that being said, I said 31 for Texas, 27 for Oklahoma.
Ooh.
You think it's a game?
You think we give up 27
You
to OU?
You think we play that slot? I know it ain't no way you think they play that.
Surprise me.
I said 31-27.
I would be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said 31-27.
I got 31-9. I'm giving Bert one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 33. 33-17 feels right.
It's funny. I was close on that one. I was thinking 38-17.
There you go.
But you know, I genuinely believe that. Like, I go 38-20. I just see us making one of those. Damn, that's a mistake on our end, and we stop them. And they get a little cheap field goal. I can go 38-20.
I really hope the maturity of this team shows up. And I mean, we have been mature, but I really hope we put an emphasis on that this week. Having 2 weeks off, played not terrible, but didn't play to our standard the last game. Yeah. There's no excuse for us not to come out fast and be our best. So.
And just watching the rest of college football crumble.
Like listen, like seriously though, like I mean, you seen college football crumble, and you seen other guys. Look at Miami. You seen guys barely get away from putting themselves in the dirt. Miami plays so terrible to start that one.
Don't get me started on being giveaway, but anyway.
Right. You know what I mean? Look at Bama.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you thought you were going to walk in and people were going to bow down.
Vandy took that, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. You thought you were going to
They
walk
didn't
in.
give that. They didn't
No,
give that.
I'm saying
Vandy took that.
You thought you were going to walk it. Vandy's been showing you.
Exactly.
What camera do I have?
Exactly. We about to be third in Commodores.
I would like to.
Is it the new Michigan?
I would like to go ahead and apologize to you, Vandy. You do play football as well as baseball. You play baseball really well.
Very well.
But apparently, I would like to say I apologize. I was not familiar with your game. Okay, because listen, that kid over there
was a couple weeks away.
What did he say? We can turn.
That was incredible.
Boy, ready to go. But my point is, like, look across college football this past week. You have to show up and play. You have to show up and play. I get a little bit frustrated because I'm like, this game doesn't have to be close.
It does not.
The talent discrepancy is real across the board. You know what I mean? Like, it is real. And I'm just like, play like that. Just play.
But
The
the momentum is real too.
The momentum is real too.
Yeah.
The momentum is definitely real.
Just real quick, I want to kind of go back to Fozzy's prediction. And I'm with you. Like, these games are close. If it was going to be a close game, I see it being the score a little bit lower. I see like a 21-17.
Gotcha.
Like, if it's a 30, if it's a 31-28, that's going to be disappointing, man. If we that's going to be disappointing if we give up 28 to Oklahoma.
To be fair, I did say Texas jumps out and then does similar to what they did against Michigan, kind of try to run the clock out, and then Oklahoma just scores late.
I would love to see Sark make a point too, because sometimes when I'm watching this offense, I don't always feel like there's a part, and I don't know, I'm not in those coaches' meetings.
We take the foot off,
but I feel like we don't only take the foot off. I feel like we just don't even show the playbook at different points in time.
That's
right?
fair.
Sark is a brilliant play caller.
Oh yeah.
Why you don't show it?
He's right. I'm saying, but like, I think this is one of those games where it's like, hey, bro. Like, you know,
Into the
like,
clip.
No. I'm not for no
Georgia coming
for no other.
You can't show everything.
For no other reason. For no other reason than I have to dominate you so that I recruit next year.
I think that's what
and I have to also dominate you because I hate you.
He needs to flex his muscle.
And then I need Georgia to have more to prepare for. I gotta show Georgia some looks. I get a chance to see them next week, and I need to stress those coaches out a little bit more.
Yeah,
right.
Could be. Well, that's a great place to wrap. We are that brings us to the end of the preview show, but we will be back here after the game with a live post game, like we always are. Don't forget to get your Third and Longhorn shirts. You can look fresh as these guys. And thanks to everyone listening on Sirius now, everyone checking this out on the Longhorn Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're watching. We appreciate y'all, and see y'all after the game. Hook 'em.
Oh, you still sucks.